Hi, everyone. So I'd like to make a spread for the month ahead. So April is upon us. So my intention is to do a reading for the next 30 days for April 1st until April 30th. And so, or from whenever you're watching this, it will be the next 30 days from then. But that is my intention for the next 30 days. I'd like to try to take a look at the energies around us to see if there are any surprises coming in, any blessings, any challenges, things that we need to be using our intuition for, if it affects our security at all. So I have two tarot decks here that I'd like to look at that should cover the next 30 days. One for clarification, but also at the end, I'm going to pull some charms too, because I feel like with that expansive time, charms are usually a good thing to bring into the mix. Well, will you look at that? So for the month of April, you are sitting in a very positive space of the 10 of Cups. So you might be feeling extremely happy about things. The 10 of Cups is all about family and wishes being granted and just in general, just feeling good and happy and attractive and wanting to get out and mix and mingle in the world. Like 10 of Cups covers a lot of things, but certainly it's a very emotionally happy and fulfilling month for you is what I'm getting for the month of April. Let's clarify. So it's clarified with the Tower. So there's something significant that changed in your life, something that was meant to change, something that your ancestors probably wanted to change for you in order to bring in your 10 of Cups. I say this often, and a lot of spiritual energy workers also will say this often, that in order to bring in true happiness, you have to get rid of and annihilate anything that is not your true happiness. But you're entering the month of April looking like that. So this tells me that all of the hard work, all of the releasing came back in March or beyond or earlier than that. And this is what's allowing you to feel so happy and joyful in the month of April. In general, as a person on the inside, that's how you're feeling. But let's get the rest of our cards. So there's the Page of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Star, and the Knight of Cups. At the back, the Sun, the Emperor, the King of Cups, Two of Swords, Temperance, and underneath everything, you have the Six of Pentacles. So again, your overall energy for the month is not only very happy, but it also feels very peaceful and very balanced. The Six of Pentacles can sometimes be learning from other people or learning from the generosity of other people. So I do feel like there's some kind of learning going on this month, or perhaps the learning already happened during whatever this Tower was for you, which has allowed all of your great blessings of your emotional blessings, blessings of family, blessings of people around you. All of that is allowing for that energy to come in the month of April. So you're in your in the space of your partnerships, we have the Sun card. So this is telling me that you are very clear on who it is that you want in your life. And with the Magician coming in with that, it's you've manifested something in. You have been working on manifesting in someone that you are very clear about who you wanted to be in a relationship with. And in April, you couldn't be more clear. So whether that's you're manifesting someone in, manifesting someone out, you were very clear about what that is. And that is contributing to what is making you so happy, because your intentions that the thing that you wanted to intentionally bring in through a manifestation has certainly shown up here. In the position of money, we have the Page of Cups. So what that's telling me is that your money situation has a lot of potential, that perhaps you haven't fully grown your bank account yet, but it feels like whatever this Tower was, it has really empowered you and emboldened you to try something new, perhaps when it comes to your money, because this is about With the Tower and then the Page of Cups coming in together, this is feeling that something was not for you, you've released it, but now you're working towards this page energy, which is a brand new energy. And this is your potential, and this is the growth for money. And so I do feel like there's something that perhaps you're working on, and we'll look at that as we go too. But there's something that you are working on here that really has the potential to help your bank account out a lot. It's being clarified by death, which is exactly what I was just saying. That something, you put an end to something that didn't work for you anymore as far as your money. You were just done with it. You decided that it's grown all it's going to grow. Maybe it was a dead end type of a job or something like that. But you decided you want to do something else because you realize that you have this potential to really expand in other arenas, in other areas. As far as your shared resources go, we're getting the Emperor and the Two of Swords. So this is a similar feeling where you could stay perhaps in something corporate with the Emperor because that's what you're used to. That's your comfort zone. But the Two of Swords showing up here is saying the same thing that Death and the Page of Cups did, that now you've expanded your awareness on your potentials and your talents and your skills, and you're realizing that maybe you don't have to go this traditional route anymore, that if you employ some discipline with this Emperor, that you can make a decision perhaps and go a different way. You can come out of your comfort zone when it comes to the way you make money and really focus on something new and ways that you could really try to expand yourself. So that's great. That's for your money for the month of April. So if you're thinking about that, the cards are really encouraging that you do that. As far as your everyday life, you are on the go in April. You're showing up as the Knight of Wands and the Emperor again. You're busy. You're busy working. You are perhaps even bossing up because of maybe you're making this decision to try something new as far as your money goes, that you're probably taking action towards whatever that is, just implementing a new routine into your day-to-day life. So if you really have always dreamed about becoming an author, but you're an accountant during the day, you're even just so busy because you're going to work every day for your 9-to-5 job, but then you come home and you start writing that book and you're taking action towards that. So that's what this energy is giving me here. As far as your broader scope of the world, it's very beautiful because that's showing up as the King of Cups and the Four of Cups. You have a really good perspective of humanity as a whole. You really look at the world as this very loving place, the potential for love. You see it as a very balanced and special kind of a place, which is telling me that in general and at heart and as a whole, you're probably somewhat of a healer, somewhat of a light worker, because you understand the potentials of human beings in general, and that there is a possibility to spread love all over the planet. So I love seeing that here. As far as your home life goes, it looks like something needs some healing. It's getting the healing it needs, but I'm not surprised to see the star because we saw the Tower here in the beginning. And so whatever this was with the Tower, it really caused some kind of a disruption within your home. And so, for example, if you recently got divorced or you recently broke up with someone who you lived with and there are perhaps children involved, let's just say that's the example, that with the Star and Justice, yeah, this could be a divorce for some of you. It doesn't have to be. Justice can just be the universe correcting itself, which is why the Tower came in. So to use this example, though, about breaking up with someone that perhaps you've lived with for a long time, their karma might have been the Tower and tearing you two apart. But now there's certainly some healing that needs to be done in the household. But the universe is really here saying it will balance itself out. The Justice card is about balance. It is about fairness. And the Star card is about hope. So if there is healing that has to be done within your household, then that is certainly coming in the month of April. So that may be why I'm seeing the 10 of Cups here, because you're feeling very much like you want to be there for your family. If there are children involved, you're just feeling like you want to focus a lot on your family for the month of April. So But as far as your status and career area, we're getting the Two of Swords again, and we've got the Two of Swords here with your shared resources. So this is just more confirmation. This is more synchronicities about you trying to actually make a decision about what your career is going to be. So to go back to my original example of the accountant versus the novelist, you might be sitting at this crossroads right now saying, which one do I want to be? So that's just more confirmation for that too. With the Queen of Swords, though, this is saying that in the month of April, you're going to make a decision. You're going to make a decision. There is no one in the deck better to make a decision, a Two of Swords type of dilemma, than the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the best at making these types of decisions. So therefore, this tells me that in the month of April, you are going to definitively decide that, yes, I'm going to write that book. I don't care if I have to write it in the middle of the night, I'm going to write that book. And that is why I'm seeing you also show up as this Knight of Wands and the Emperor, because you're going to feel like your hair is on fire because you're so busy for the entire month of April. So that's more synchronicities and more pretty much clarification and validation of what we've already been saying. So then we have the Knight of Cups here and we have Temperance here. So the Knight of Cups is all about your work. And so this is really telling me, especially with all these changes that are coming in here, that I do feel like this area of work showing up as the Knight of Cups means that you really would prefer to do something that you love very much. And you're getting Judgment, which again is about decisions. Then with Temperance, we're getting the Nine of Cups. So let's break this all down. So as far as your job goes, this is more confirmation that you're trying to make a decision, because the Judgment is that. Judgment is about deciding between staying small or expanding your energy and following a spiritual call. And the Knight of Cups wants to follow his heart always. And so this is really saying to me that you would love to follow your heart when it comes to your job. You would love to write the novel over going and doing people's taxes year after year. And if it's, and I mean, make sense for you. It can apply to any single situation. That's just the random example that I'm sticking with, so you can follow the storyline, follow the bouncing ball. But that's all this is you're making a decision to follow your spiritual calling of writing the book, or staying small and doing the same thing you've always done because you're comfortable with it, not because there's anything wrong with it. It's just you're comfortable. And it's time for you, it looks like, to sort of break out of that shell and expand your energy. And that's what this is telling me. What you don't see is this Temperance energy and the Nine of Cups. That if you can alchemize these two things, so even like to go back to the example that I had just said, that even if you stay up all night writing the novel, and don't quit your day job yet, keep doing the day job, but also work on your passion project. If you can alchemize those two things together, or somehow write a novel about accounting, for example, if you can bring those two aspects together and really use all of your talents and bring all of your skills together, that's truly when your wishes will start to come in with this Nine of Cups, this wish fulfillment. If you can really just figure out what all your talents are versus all of your passions and mix them all up into one thing, and then you're going to really see a major difference in your life. So that's what the cards are telling me for the month of April, which is amazing. But I would like to pull some charms here too, because whenever I do a more expansive amount of time, I feel like charms are just a good option to have, just to see if we can get other energies out, and so we can look at them. So I'm just going to pull a few charms here. All right, so in resources, we have a key falling in resources. So this is giving me this similar idea that the Page of Cups did for your money, that you hold the key to it. You have a lot of potential. You have a lot of skills, and the universe wants you to really put those into action this month in April, because that will be the key to unlocking more money for yourself, unlocking more resources. For creations, we got the Starfish, and the starfish for me is about regeneration. So for example, if a starfish gets injured and loses a limb, it grows another one back. And so that's the image that I'm getting right now with the starfish. And that what you're creating is you're really being asked to regenerate what you're creating. So again, I think it's also verifying what we have already said here, that there may be a reason for you to alchemize together the things you already know how to do and recreate things. So to use the example of the novel again, if you were thinking about writing a romantic novel, you might start rethinking that, recreating that, and becoming the accountant novel, to use that random example again, because you're deciding that there might be a better way that you can bring together all of your skills and talents. Then in the area of partners, which we had here, you have the tree. And this is really telling me that your ancestors are helping you with that. And you had the magician here with your in the card of partners. So I do feel like you have manifested in or out, whatever that was for you, a partner because you were so clear about it. And I think it's because you were getting very clear help and signs and wishes from your ancestors. Your ancestors really had your back when it came to that. And we're also seeing the angels here falling over work and partners. So this is just another reminder that you have a lot of people in the astral realm on your side. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, you name it, are here helping you move your work forward that it looks like you're going to be very busy with. I do think you're going to feel a lot of wind in your back in the month of April as far as your projects, because your angels and your ancestors are showing up here too. So, wow, this looks like it's going to be a great month. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.